Hey everyone, traders, friends, and family. Welcome to statistically my most profitable day of the week. That's why I spell it Wednesday, W-I-N-S-D-A-Y. Let's hop into some stocks that you requested and that I think might be moving, look at some analysis, talk about them, and enrich lives together. You rock. I'll see you in the video. Hey traders from around the world. What's going on? It's Jeremy. Alexander Newsom with reallifetrading.com. I trust you're doing amazing. It's Wednesday, and this was a setup that I was looking at and talked about in Slack today from my traders on the SPY. Probably going to be wrong on this trade. Not really worried if I am, but you do have 4 super strong days in a row. And what was happening is I posted this, on the here's the 15-minute chart. Posted this in Slack, where was this? Right here, 1:25 p.m. talking about this candle pattern here. So let me just kind of hide all my lines. And what I was looking at is, let me turn off the extended hours as well. This candle, you can see, had a volume increase, and it actually made a new high. So it made a new high, volume increase. All the newbies were buying with a high of the day breakout, and then it immediately broke below, trapping them all, and then retested. So on that retest, I was like, you know what? Let's see if this is it. I think this might be the top. So I say the top. I mean, not the top of the market. Not like we're going to go to zero. I just don't everything that's going to happen. But we could get a nice little, small gap down or bearish move tomorrow. It is a high wave candle. Anything is possible tomorrow. Nice gap up, nice gap down. But I do like this high wave candle, and I think it will give us the direction for the next 2-3 days, depending on how we break the high or the low of today's candle on the SPY. There's a lot of things to be looking at though, and so much to kind of review and analyze just regarding the bigger picture and where we might be going. I do think at some juncture, before we have any kind of big pullback, at this point, it seems that there's high likelihood we'll get above the 100 simple on a weekly before we have a bigger roll down, eventually retesting this low. I do think that's going to happen at some point. Could be March or April, but I do think it will occur. And that will be a really fun buying spot, by the way, when that happens. And a lot of people are comparing, and myself included, as far as the charts and the technicals to 2008. I don't think we're in the same type of just how bad it got, but it's important to see that, we did bounce off the 200 simple, right? Back in 2008. We traded up. This is the week that we should be in right here if everything is exactly identical. And we can see it's not, but we immediately opened and just kind of free fell. Which, there is 2 days left, so it's possible. But we did come back down to the 200 and formed kind of an equal low. And then we actually rallied nicely, getting all the way back up to the 100 simple, which would be, this would be like the SPY hitting 270-ish present day, and then it had that nice rollover. Keep in mind, that took all of like 5 months on the SPY. So, it's going to be choppy for a bit longer. Day trading is going to be fantastic. Option selling will be great. And, something like this, and then a little bit of a chop fest, and then a rotation down, into here. And then from there, I have no idea. A bounce up to here, and then this, sure, why not? Why not? We will find out, but the candles will lead us there and help us get more information and more insight. Tomorrow, I'm looking for a fun day in the market. Let's talk about some stocks that were requested. Here's Procter & Gamble, ticker symbol PG. And Procter & Gamble, what's really fun about Procter & Gamble is this gnarly bearish gap down on December 17th. This is the stock. Procter & Gamble and Johnson & Johnson were both doing really, really well, when the market was kind of tanking there for December 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th. And then PG and Johnson & Johnson kind of just went to Shredville on the bear side. I know my buddy Robert Falco got out almost at the exact high on Procter & Gamble on, I think, the 13th of December. But it, again, did end up breaking down. We did trade down to the 100 simple. A lot of volume came in today on Procter & Gamble. And my thought is, based on kind of the hourly chart, it looks a little on the weak side. So you're below all the moving averages at this point on the hourly chart. We closed below a really nice high wave bullish candle. So on Procter & Gamble, if I was playing it personally, which I'm not, but if I were, I'd kind of expect this gap to eventually fill. So if I was playing this one, I'd try to look to get Procter & Gamble down there at 82.31, just as a maybe, because it has gone, or it did go so far. I mean, for Procter & Gamble, going from 72 to 96 was a 33% gain. That's a big deal for Procter & Gamble shareholders. Plus, it made that new all-time high, so you know all the newbies who take breakouts, they bought up there, and then they got squashed, and then, yeah, I think it's almost a guarantee that we have another rotation back down to some of these lows, and then a good buying opportunity. So be patient on Procter & Gamble. I got a request for KALY, and here's the daily chart. So over the counter, penny stock, a few people getting some alerts on this one saying, hey, I think it's gonna go higher. It could, it probably won't. Most of the time when you hear about stocks like this, it's a little too late. I'm not saying that's the case for this stock. I'm not saying it won't go higher. What I can say is the history doesn't bode well for any kind of bullish pops. So we can see as long as this stock has kind of quote unquote been around, it's more or less just gone lower, and every pop has eventually gotten sold. So this one's most likely going to do the exact same thing. If you're going to play this stock, the way I would do it is I would take my risk, whatever my risk is, so let's say $500, and I would divide it by 0.016. And that would be how many shares I could buy in this particular stock, which is quite a significant amount. 500 divided by 0.016 equals 31,250 bucks. And then you forget that you have the shares, and most likely you end up losing that money. That's usually what happens on these over-the-counter stocks that a lot of people talk about online. I mean, it does have good volume, so you won't have an issue getting in and getting out. But man, a scam a day. I've seen tons of the pump and dumps. It looks like just a classic pump and dump. I mean, if I can say this, if this stock for any reason closes below the low of January 7th candle, yeah, you can pretty much kiss that one goodbye. So that's really all I have on KALY. I didn't have any other stocks that were requested, so I'll go look at Square. Square's been a good mover, especially since it had my favorite candle over here on the 4th of January, the one white soldier, one of the stocks I'm most bullish on long term, and hopped into that $70 covered call today along with a few other traders. Robert Falco has a 64 expiring next Friday. So there's a few traders in Square right now, and a lot of them have some really good positions. Just chatted with my buddy Charles Wade, who has himself a 65 protective put with a $60 sold put. That is a bear put spread, and all of those are February. So that's February. Plus he's got this $70 covered call, but this $70 covered call for him is February. So that's the position that he's in, and what's great is he's actually locked in a gain, and there's no way he can lose money on this trade because he actually got put shares at 60, and now he's doing it a 65 protective put. So he's good to go. Yeah. So anyway, that was a trade that a lot of traders got put some shares at on 60 at Square. I mean, we got paid $1 to do it. So it's realistically getting paid at 59. Hold through a little bit of pain. And again, if it's a company that you like and enjoy long term, be bullish on. Again, eventually it could still trade down to the 100 simple weekly. I'm not saying that will not happen. By all means, it's possible, but I do like the move, and it kind of reminds me of this move over here after we had that super sharp drop and then rotation and a little bit of a bounce. So I could see us going up a little bit higher, maybe into 70, and then dropping some and then bouncing some, and we'll see what happens on earnings. BABA, talk about one white soldier candles. Look at this gap on BABA. I mean, again, the market review, I was pretty bearish on the 3rd of January, just looking at all the candles and pretty much everything I pulled up. I was like, all right, guys, feel free to go back and watch it. But Everything I was saying if we go any lower, so that candle got put in. If we had any type of lower move to go, people were going to be hopping on bearish. Whew! I mean, that is you got a 1 black crow followed by a 1 white soldier. I mean, that candle is such a powerful candle. Had a lot of traders actually ask me on this day, hey Newsome, I'm in BABA bullish with XYZ type of positions. Should I do a covered call? Do I do it now? Do I wait? What do I do? I was like, guys, with a candle like that, with a gap like that, with a double bottom like that, you got to stay bullish. So hold on. Now you can see some traders hopping into some covered calls on BABA. Lee got puts at 149, so if she gets called away at 152.50 plus $4.10 of premium, she'll be happy. So yeah, BABA, I mean, that was a beautiful bounce. Here's the weekly charts, and the weekly chart looks good. Still hanging out right in between the 100 and 200 simple moving averages. Shout out to my buddy Bryson, who got himself a nice, cute iron condor, 160 and above and a 120 and below for next week. Speaking of iron condors, here's 3M. And 3M, this is a 210, 220 bear call that got into on December 8th. And then a 170, 165 that we got into on December 20th. So right now, 3M holding strong, trading sideways. Just gonna let that one expire and go to options heaven. Speaking of options heaven, a really cool place for this condor to go. This is gonna be a historic week. Next Friday will be a good payday. This was the longest condor I've ever done, and the hardest one I've ever had to hold through because it was negative a lot. Pretty much up until like a week and a half ago. This thing, I'll kind of show you when it started actually being positive. It was a Tesla iron condor. Now I will say this put sale, the one I sold back on December 20th, did buy that one back. So that was the December 20th put sale. Bought that one back, but this is the condor that I'm talking about. All the way back on July 19th. 250, 240, 410, 400 bear call spread. And it was looking real rough, obviously, when the whole Elon Musk smoking a doobie thing was happening, and it was down in the 243-ish area. 247. It was looking kind of rough, and then it looked really, really rough. The top side looked bad, just weeks ago when it rallied up to like 380. And then honestly, just until the theta and everything really started demising was when this sell-off happened right here. When this sell-off happened, that bear call spread just died. And when this bullish candle came in on the 26th, all the options for the puts pretty much died. So we are flat pancake sideways on Tesla and looking for some more sell-offs at some point to turn around and sell some more premium again on that one. A lot of things to talk about, folks. I hope I got to look at all those stocks that you requested. If you have any other requests for me, feel free at any time to throw them in the comments section below, and I'll be happy to check those out. Folks from around the world, thanks for tuning in to your Wednesday Real Life Stock Review. Tomorrow, there's some cool gaps happening out there right now. Bed Bath & Beyond is one that's gapping up post-market. So post-market's already up to 14.21. I'll be looking for that to fade, and if it doesn't fade, it will run up into that 100 simple moving average. I'll be watching that one kind of closely. KBH, I'll be keeping a close eye on that one because that's gapping up to 22.88 right now. That could be either a nice bearish fade or it could just be a decent retest gap. So it's kind of up in the air on that one as to what that will do. But I'll be watching those two gaps tomorrow, followed by most likely a few others. Tomorrow, already Thursday, the week is flying by. Make sure if you have access to the Real Life Trading Dadcam website, which you all should have access to that. You'll see that there's a New York City meetup January 19th. If you want to be there, mathematically, that is right around the corner. And I would love to hang out, talk trading, and eat food and have some drinks with you. Also, if you get a chance to log in to your website, what you'll notice if you scroll down, here's all of your links, by the way. So if you want to share any of these links, remember the trading room open house starts the last week of January. And if you send out your links and anyone purchases, with your affiliate, I will be paying you money, cash, dollar bills, yo. I love it. Let's enrich lives together. Folks from around the world, you're amazing. I will see you later. Until next time, love, life, love, trade, bye. Boom, that's it. Wednesday stock review wrapped up, delivered for you. Thank you for watching. Make sure to click that subscribe button because I do this 3 times every single week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I have more coming next week. I have so much content and I want you to check out this video right here because if you like this one, you'll love that one. You rock.